Namaste, friends. Let's commence with a minute of silent prayer. Namaste, good morning. So, welcome to Inter Classroom. Very happy to see you all in the Inter Classroom. I would like to give you some ground rules in the beginning and then we will progress. Basically, you saw Panichami sir. He is the Dean and Director of this institute, and he will be sharing part of your accounts knowledge. Okay, Dinesh Jain, Chartered Accountant, one of the flagship faculties across India, and he'll be sharing his costing and in the intergroup 1 costing and in the intergroup 2 financial management. Deepika is joining us in some time. She is going to share other part of accounting. Charanya, she had her family function yesterday. I'm not sure she can join today, but she will be sharing with you her law knowledge. Shivkumar, who will join you soon. He's there in the other classroom. Will be sharing indirect taxes, and I will be sharing direct taxes. This is your component of Group 1 faculty. Let's not talk about Group 2 today. Let's talk about Group 1. Okay, so what are all the things you can expect from us? Okay, completion on time, utilization of time efficiently. We respect your time as well as we consider our time is also respected. The first primary criteria we do is we start the classes on time and ensure that we use as much of time possible in the classroom. Second thing you can expect from us is completion of syllabus. We will be definitely completing the syllabus without rushing. Without rushing, we will be completing the syllabus. And being a hybrid batch, that is, few of our friends are attending live online, few of you are here physically. Well, by God's grace, we are hopefully we are nearing the endemic, and if possible, I will ask even our live online students to come physically and attend the class. That gives you a different dynamics altogether. But if you have some challenges, if you are not in Chennai, that is different. I completely respect if you have some challenges and other things, but as far as possible, whoever it is possible, please attend the class physically. That is a different level of dynamics altogether. Hopefully, with all things becoming normal, try to wake up early in the morning, come to the classroom, attend the class and see the difference. It will create a big impact in your entire preparation process. So this is as a friend of yours, I want to share that attend as far as possible physically. Well, okay. What we expect from you is very simple. Walk along with us. What we expect from you is you should just walk along with us. When I say walk along with us, I mean please come with us in the preparation process. Whatever chapters we are covering, in the same pattern, start preparing. Okay, I have only one thing to you, that is, please come walk along with us in the preparation process, in the entire journey of CA. To a larger extent, if you are walking along with us, you will be more successful. When I say, what do I mean by walk along with us? All I would require you to do is only three things. Be to class punctual. before the start of the class, be there, or exactly be there. Be punctual, be regular. Be it you watching live online because one day you are unable to come, or be it you are coming to the physical classroom. Be regular and take the notes. I think these are fundamental things which I expect from you, and from there on it's going to be simple. That is known as just coming along with us. So be punctual, be regular, take proper notes. These things are some things which can take you to the success line in a better manner. The other aspect of walking along with us is, recently DJ and me were meeting the final rank holders. You know that all India level there are only 50 rank holders, and by God's grace 6 of them are from Bharadwaj Institute, 3 of them are from the same room where you are starting your travel. That is, they have also started their inter journey, foundation journey from us. So whenever we asked them what is their, it is not that they have candidly said that it is not that they prepare for 12 hours, 14 hours, 15 hours, etc. They said that as the class go by, they also started their preparation and went on with it. So our request is, as the class go by, as we start the class, please go with the preparation so that you are not lagging behind. Suppose on any day, see, recordings are a backup. Recordings are not a substitute. Please understand that recordings provided to you should only be a backup and not a substitute. Now class pola recording pathukaren, that is not, that attitude should not be there. Whenever you should have attended the class. Actually the recording will be, you attended the class, after your preparation, at the time when you are preparing, you have a doubt in your concept, you have a doubt in a solution, you know which recording it is, you should go and verify, or you should go and listen to it once. That's how the recording should be used. Recording should not be and will not be a substitute to the class. It will be only a reference to you. Recordings are provided to you. All options are available to you, but that should not make you lazy, lethargic, and it should not make you to be complacent. Instead, use those recordings in a better manner, you will be happy. So please don't consider recording as a substitute, or if I don't go, I'll see recording. That backup will go on pile up. Okay. Fortunately, as I told you, by God's grace, when you are nearing the endemic, we should be more dynamic towards our approach. Pull up your socks, get back to the courses in the same manner as you were 2 years back in your school or in your college, however you are doing. Well, at the beginning of the course, you will have 1200 doubts, saying whether I should do both the groups, whether I should do one group, how to approach it. As of now, put all those things on hold. Just start the course. Just get your legs wet. As the journey commences, as you progress in the journey, you will understand lot of things. At that time, we can decide those things. As of now, don't decide anything. You have started with group 1, and our approach is also like that. We have framed it in such a manner that first we will do group 1 and then we will do group 2, so that we are surely ensuring that group 1 is coming to you by that time you will be able to decide. So aram se you can decide. As of now, please approach the course with an open mind. Do not decide anything. Those who are going for college, you can balance. Those who are going for articleship, you can balance. We also know what difficulties you face. We also understand the pressure that college environment puts on you in terms of both attendance and in terms of your examination. We also understand an articleship student, which part of the months he will be busy, which part of the time he will be All those things, by fortunately by experience and being associated with chartered accountant students for long, we also understand those things. So just leave it to us. We will take you through. Just walk along with us. That's what we want. And prepare along with us. Whenever it is a small unit test, do not miss it. Anything small is sweet, simple. Once you pile up, everything becomes difficult, everything becomes very challenging. So do not allow it to pile up. Just keep doing, and as far as possible, start attending the classes physically, unless there are compelling reasons, unless you are outstationed people, or unless there are other compelling reasons. Let laziness not be a reason for not attending physically. There can be, I can accept all other reasons. Why should I wake up in the morning and come should not be a reason, is my personal opinion, my dear friends. So try to attend it, okay? Because when we physically interact, touch and feel is something which is phenomenal. Okay, today everything can be programmed in the computer, and the computer can teach you much higher than what we can. But what makes that human voice difference is the touch and feel effect. So please do not miss that again when the opportunity is given to us. And with regard to subject wise, I leave it to the respective faculty to talk. As far as I'm concerned, my arena or my focus is going to be on income tax, which is going to be the most interesting of the 16 subjects which you are together going to study in inter and final. Okay, inter and final together you are going to study 16 subjects. The most interesting is going to be income tax. I'm sure the Shivkumar will come and say indirect tax is the most simplest. Don't believe that. Okay, right? And the most interesting, the most dynamic subjects of all, because it touches upon a larger circle of people on a day-to-day basis. So our classrooms will be very, very, very interesting, very enjoyable. We will, by the time in a month's time, we will be also having a book in your hand which will have all things. Okay, so for all of us here, with regard to preparation of material, preparation of books, I will again say DJ is our inspiration. So together you will enjoy the subject. We will take care of the subject, and my classes will commence somewhere around the second week of March for income tax. From there on, no turnbacks. Income tax will be very simple, very interesting, very nice to learn. And as chartered accountants, the society at large, the institute at large expects you to be a good income tax professional as well. So that's going to be the journey. More to talk about the journey, and more to talk about the things that do's and don'ts. We have people here. Okay, I call upon DJ Dinesh Jain to talk. He's our costing faculty in the inter group 1 level. He will start his talk. We'll keep progressing.
Good morning, friends. Good morning, friends. I think it's a great thing for me. I am coming back to a physical class after a gap of 2 years. So something which is really nice. And what we miss in a live online class or a recording class is the energy which we get back from the students. So seeing you early morning at 6 a.m., people get up early and then come for physical class. That discipline is what gets created in your physical class or in a live online class. So many of you are connected through live online as well. Now, as Vachan sir would have indicated that what we are going to do in CA Inter, it's not going to be anything different. In fact, we just had a discussion with 6 rank holders, I think 2 days back. When we were speaking to them, we understood from them that they were not doing anything different. The only thing which they told us is consistent preparation. Consistency over a long period of time. If you consistently do something over a long period of time, you will become an expert in whatever you are doing. And people who are saying that they put in hard work, they work for 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day. First of all, you should stop talking to people asking about how difficult a CA course. That question should never come to you, because many students interact with someone else. And I'll tell you my personal experience. If you talk to a person who has cleared chartered accountancy and ask him how difficult it is, He maybe wants to show that he has done something extraordinary and would like to tell you that it's an extremely difficult course. A person who fails it will also would like to say the same thing, that it is so difficult that he could not pass it. So it is not a difficult course, but yeah, it is a challenging course. It is challenging. That's why many students aspire to become a chartered accountant. In the commerce field, one of the approach or one of the areas which people touch on is to become a chartered accountant. So the requirement are very simple to become a chartered accountant. It is not that we expect people to do some extraordinary work. We have seen people from different backgrounds. In fact, when we were speaking to those 6 rank holders, we got to know one of them was from science background. Some of them were from the state board, CBSE. So they were from different background. Some of them did college together. People were from Big Four. So it is not that it is difficult to balance things. It is not that there is different expectation from you. Base is required, but beyond base, what we expect from students is a steady preparation, consistency over a long period of time. Our expectation from student is very simple. We want you to be consistent in the class. Today there was a class which was announced to you, so you have come for the class. After some time, when after our classes gets over, which is it's a long journey still, but after classes get over, still there is a preparation which is needed at your end, or even on a daily basis. After classes, there is a requirement that you will prepare on a daily basis, because I'll give some tests, Watson sir will give some tests, PC sir will give you some tests, or will give you some assignments to take up. See, whatever we are saying, we just want you to follow that. If you follow that, and we are always there to guide you. So you may have your lots of doubts could be there. You may have some any type of a doubt. In fact, we don't discourage students asking doubt. We want you to ask your doubts. If you unnecessarily pile up things, it will become more and more difficult. See, I am not expert in few things. If I'm not an expert in stuff, the first thing I should do is I should speak to a person, understand from him exactly what needs to be done. So if let's assume I have a health issue, if I try to cure it myself, I'll unnecessarily complicate things. If I go to a doctor, he's going to tell me what needs to be done, and moment he tells that this is what needs to be done. So whenever you have a doubt and if you are trying to complicate things by saying that I will not ask what needs to be done, I'll try to solve this at my end, that's not needed. You ask your doubts, you ask your clarifications, whatever you have, please speak to people. When you speak to people, so you can not only ask doubt to your faculties, you can even ask doubt to your friends also, but do communicate, don't pile up things. Any doubts you have, you do ask. We also don't have a problem that your doubts has to be in English in case you want to ask in some other language. So I can talk in Hindi, I can talk in English, I can talk in Tamil. So whatever language you are comfortable, you do ask your doubts, but doubts need to be asked. So we try to keep our classes 100% English. Our delivery will be fully in English, but in case there is a doubt and you are not comfortable, it's okay. So ask your doubts. That's the first thing which I wanted to say. Ask your doubts, and most important thing, be consistent. Be consistent for the classes. Today I'm seeing you, so many of you have come for the physical classes. Many of you have connected for the live online classes. So whenever we are keeping classes, so it's a daily class which is going to be there. Initially, we're going to give you a schedule, day-wise schedule would be given to you. See, so as Bharadwaj Institute has prepared a day-wise schedule, there should be a day-wise schedule available at your end also. Too early for you to prepare a day-wise schedule, but as you go through our classes, once multiple subjects of classes are done, see, what we expect is, if you attend 3.5 hours of session 1, session 2 we are going to guide you with certain tests, assignments and other things, and some classes can also be there, but mostly tests and assignments will be there as part of the classes. So when we are doing that, after that also we expect, see, the ideal ratio is at least half of the regular class timing you will have to spend outside. That is, if there is a 3-hour class at our end, we expect you to spend 1.5 hours at home doing self-study. We would give you test, we would give you assignments. So there is an amount of time which you need to spend at your end. Many students do come back to us saying that I am part of a regular college, how do I do it? I am doing my articleship, how do I manage it? So there are people whom we have spoken, we'll also share those interviews with you. They had the same constraints which you have. It's not that people don't have constraints. For example, if Watson sir or PC sir is coming today, I get to know that PC sir came today at 4:30 here. because he had to set up those things. Everything should have been ready. If you are coming here, I cannot make you wait for half an hour and say that we are setting up things now. Can you wait for 30 minutes? So we had to do something at our end. He had his own constraints. It is not easy for a person to come at 4:30, do things, keep it ready, and then deliver the class. So we had to do certain things. We have our admin team. We expect certain things from them. They have their own constraints. Everybody has a constraint. I could have as well said that, sir, I cannot come today, sir. I have XYZ constraint. So everyone will have constraints at their end. In fact, when I was doing my CA intern, at that time it was possible for me to do a 9 to 3 o'clock article shift. That was possible at that time, and I used to go for a regular college 3:30 to 7:45. That time was my college timing, but still there was a need for self-study. I had to do that self-study. So if we are spending 3 hours in classes or 5 hours in classes, after that at least half of the time we spend. So you will have to spend that time. If you travel along with us today, if I teach one topic and I tell you to do self-study of that, you'll be able to complete in half of the time. But if you accumulate this and wait for 15 days, if I'm taking something in 3 hours and if I tell you to do that, you would obviously take 6 hours time. So by delaying your preparation, you are just going to spend 4x of the normal time which is needed. Today, if I teach something, it is fresh in your mind. You'll be able to make certain notes. See, because at the end, see, there's also one more critical aspect is whatever said and done, we deliver our classes, you take our classes, you do a preparation for 9 months, 10 months, but before exam, you have only 1.5 days. That's the amount of time you have. And in that time, you have to revise the entire subject. So somewhere that goal also should be there in mind, saying that I will make certain notes. Summary notes are needed. It is impossible for a person to read entire stuff in 1.5 days. So that is why we want you to do certain things at your end. I cannot give my notes to you because my notes I will only understand because I have a different way of writing my notes. So we do give our books, but books is a standardized one. There is always a customization needed. What works for Dinesh Jain will not work for someone else, or what works for Vachan sir will not work for me. He has a different style of reading. There are people, so he may be willing to study early mornings. I may be willing to study late nights. There are people who would be comfortable doing study. So different people have different requirements. So that is why along with our classes, you have to spend that 1.5 hours on a daily basis. If it's a 3-hour class which we take, or if it's a 5-hour class which is taken, then you'll have to spend 2.5 hours on a daily basis. Let's not come back with those excuses. People do come back with those excuses. Unfortunately, people who come back with excuses do spend double or triple the time later. It's not that you don't spend the time. Anyway, at the end of the day, you have decided to get into this course. You have to clear this course. So somewhere you have in your mind that I will somehow make up this course. So when you have decided to do all of this, then at the end of the day, if you don't prepare it at one stretch, you'll be forced to prepare it at 2 attempts, 3 attempts, 4 attempts, which is unnecessary. It is preferable to clear it in the first attempt, and many students do make it. As sir was indicating, as time passes by, you will also get a clarity as to whether you need to do 1 group, 2 group. You leave it all of that to us. We'll gradually guide you. Also, in my classes, I do say this, and for my subject, I do say this, but for others also, for all subjects, do make notes at your end. Do make notes. There are running notes which you may make during classes. There are certain notes which could be dictated by the faculty, or there are printed notes which could be available. But apart from that, you will have to make your own notes. Making your own notes, for example, I would want you to summarize entire income tax classes in 40 pages or 30 pages or 50 pages, whatever you are comfortable with. But can you do that? That is what is critical, because the faculty will try to provide a detailed book. We cannot provide such short notes to you. So when we provide a detailed book to you, it may be working well for us, because a detailed book will help you in revising stuff and all. But is it possible to read 400 pages of a book in 1.5 days, or 600 pages of a book? Costing, in fact, the book may run to 500 pages also. Income tax sir may make the book to some 500, 600 pages. Income tax is there, indirect tax is there, so everything is there. In fact, just one personal experience. When I did my CA inter, I did not struggle much. When I say I did not struggle much, before exam things were fine, I could have managed it. But at final level, I think the last exam for me was for indirect tax. And this I have told many people, and this is a personal experience which really happened with me. After writing my 7th paper, when I went home and I started reading indirect tax, nothing was registering in my mind. And the whole night, I think for a longer period of time, 2-3 hours, was really in a depressing mood. I cried also. That night I cried also because I somehow was struggling to read that. It was turning to be a very lengthy subject. I don't know. I struggled big time in that. Somehow parents and siblings spoke to me, somehow consoled me, said that go ahead and do whatever is possible at your end. So they spoke to me and somehow they gave me that confidence. So you also need a strong support group. So the support group will be there and we are also there to support you. So somehow I managed, but at that day I also realized the importance of making notes. So I realized it in a, that experience is something which I don't want any other student to go through. I did make notes, but somehow I finally struggled. Big time I was struggling before that paper. Then I had to do something and somehow I managed that paper. So things went well in exam. It's not that I struggled in the exam, but at least that experience is something which did teach me a lot of things. I also don't expect you to leave anything to the last minute. I don't like it. Most of our faculties don't like it, leaving things to the last minute, because saying that I'm confident, I'll manage it, I'll somehow do it. Those things don't work. It's not something like people may get used to it. Some of you could have been regular college students, or you could have completed your college also. Some of you could have managed clearing your college by last 5 days preparation, 10 days preparation. Some of you could have done it. Those shortcuts are not going to work here. It is not, this course will work with shortcuts. There's only one thing which needs to be done every day: 3 hours of study. That's the only thing we want students to do. When I say 3 hours of study, it's after the class, not part of the regular classes. One is regular class, which we will keep delivering. Apart from the classes also, we expect you to do something, and it's nothing significant we expect you to do. We expect you to spend those 2-3 hours on a daily basis. It is like a rule that I will not avoid it. Whatever said and done, I do understand maybe in a week or in 10 days, one day something here and there happens, or there is some real urgency, some health issues are there. Those things are understandable, but at least you keep it as a rule that you will study for 3 hours a day. There are certain rules, there are certain things which we don't miss out on a daily basis. So one of those things should be that 3 hours of study. It should be at back of your mind that if I'm not studying for 3 hours, I will not get sleep. So like sleep is very critical for you. You do expect to sleep for 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day, 5 hours a day, whatever. Different people have different sleep schedules, but you do have that in mind. So like that, somewhere at the back of your mind, it should be there that if I'm not studying for 3 hours a day after the class, I'm not going to get sleep. I need to go regularly to office. I need to go regularly to classes. So similarly, you need to do a regular self-study. When I say regular self-study, some of you could even use the Bharadwaj Institute premises also for your regular self-study. That is, after our classes, you want to sit here, prepare. We are perfectly fine. We don't have problem with that. Our office is open till some time. I think evenings till around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Even if you want to spend time here, you can spend. So you spend time here, prepare, nothing beyond that. And we are not telling you to spend 14 hours a day. In fact, we were surprised when we spoke to 6 chartered accountants. Sir had done that interview. He spoke to 6 chartered accountants, and none of them told us that they want to study for 12 hours a day or 14 hours a day. In fact, they ended up openly saying it is impossible to do it. They ended up openly saying it is impossible to study for 14 hours a day or 16. Just sitting with a book does not mean that you study for 14 hours a day or 16 hours a day, because we very well know how our you suddenly get a message, you start looking at that, and then you say that this is part of my study time. Doesn't work that way. So it is impossible for anyone to study for 14 hours, 16 hours a day. So I'm just setting you the ground rules. In fact, I'm trying to tell you that it is not a very difficult course. Also telling you that it's not a very easy course which you can manage by saying that I'll study for only 3 months or 2 months or 1 month. Many students who do articleship, they think that, okay, let me get my study leave and then start my preparation. All those is not going to work. You may get your study leave, But before that itself, we need preparation. You may be going for a regular college. The college could be demanding, but still we need preparation. You could be not a college going student. You could be not an articleship student, and you have a lot of time at your end. Still we need preparation. Too much of time availability also becomes an issue, because you think, okay, I have so much of time available at my end. It's okay, let me delay my preparation. It's okay, let me delay 10 days, 15 days, doesn't really matter. I'll somehow manage it. All those is not going to work. Consistent preparation is needed. Consistent preparation is needed. And I keep, so when I do my regular costing classes, initial 40 minutes I talk about the same thing. Students in fact get bored saying that, why is he talking about the same thing again and again? He keeps telling the same thing in a different manner, because that is what is very critical. And in fact, I was very happy when I was hearing those 6 interviews, because they kept on talking about the same thing. They said consistency is what is needed, sir. Hard work is not needed. It's not that hard work is needed. It's systematic preparation, smart work, consistency. That is what is very, very critical. It is, when we spoke to them, we got to know about that aspect of consistent preparation. As sir would have indicated, be regular to classes. In case you are not able to come for physical class for XYZ thing, because you could have a articleship commitment where you are forced to go to some place. Let's assume that does not mean you will miss out on a live online class that day, because if you are traveling somewhere, we do expect that internet is going to be available at all places. Internet availability is not a big concern. It's going to be available at almost all places. In fact, in my final classes, in the current batch, I'm taking a live online batch there. Students attend live online class. In that, one of the student keeps asking doubt. And whenever he asks doubt, I hear a train sound there. So he is sitting in a train and asking doubts. I think he is traveling at that time, and still is asking a doubt and making notes. So it could be, I don't know, where is he traveling, I don't know, but regularly I do hear that. So that is the amount of commitment he has to the classes. So he could be traveling somewhere, but he doesn't want to miss out on a live online class. Because when you are in the live online class, see, recorded classes are good. It's not that they are bad, but the point is, there also you need consistency. And as sir said, it's a backup option available for you. You can use that backup option if things go really bad. So we do need a backup, and it's not that everyday things will work the manner we want. So if you have an articleship commitment, if you have a social commitment, if you have XYZ commitment, most of us, despite those commitments, early morning 6 to 9 or 6:30 to 9:30, you will at least be free only. Most of you, whatever be the commitment you have, most of you would be free early mornings. Be it even an articleship requirement where you need to travel somewhere. If you are traveling somewhere, you are not able to write notes, okay, at least hear the classes. You're not able to make notes, let's make the notes later on, but at least hear those classes. You have to go somewhere, let's go to that location because there is some social pressure or there's some requirement. Anyone can have any requirement. Go there, but at least attend live online. You're going to a relative's place, go and attend live online there. It's okay. Let people ask you, why are you attending classes here? You attend the class. It doesn't really matter. So regularly attending classes is very, very critical. Backup option is what we wanted to give student, because COVID did teach a lot of things to us. So one of the things we learned is this is an option which is needed for students, because somewhere if there is a struggle of attending classes, they do need a backup option. So that's why we gave that backup option. But attending live online class is going to be extremely critical. In our classes also we have certain ground rules. At least I want those rules to be very clear. Class has to start sharp at 6:30. That's our expectation. We want to start sharp at 6:30. In fact, today 6:27. In fact, I wanted to tell sir that let's start 5 minutes late because it's the first class. But before even I could tell it, sir said let's start the class, because when the class started, we could see in the live online all had not connected. In the physical class, only 3 students were there when sir started at 6:30. But he said let's start it. And in fact, I did tell this to even one of my past batch, is that when I keep a class at 6:30 and 2 students have come at 6:30, and if I delay starting my class, I'm doing injustice to the people who are coming on time. With the people who have come on time, I cannot keep them waiting. It does, because just because a person is not consistent, he wants to come late, I cannot keep delaying or keep making a person wait who has come on time. So we would want to start the class at 6:30. Today it's an initial intro, but some of you could pick up the context, or when Vachan sir was speaking, some of you entered at that time, many of you wouldn't have picked up the context, what is he trying to say, because you're suddenly coming in a class. What happens many a times is, when we start at 6:30, we start with something which is very critical, because you are fresh, we are also fresh, so we want to start with something which is very critical. You miss the first 10 minutes, the entire 2.5 hours is gone, because you are trying to play the catch up game. You are thinking what was the concept which sir has taught. I have missed that concept. After that, he is solving a problem which I am not understanding, my friend is doing at a rapid pace, everyone is understanding, I am not understanding it, because you missed the initial 10 minutes. The 10 minutes is going to make a big difference to you. And it's not only for the classes, okay, some of you are in your articleship also. If you have given a time to your client saying that a meeting will start at this time, or you're going to come to your office at this time, your partner, your manager expects you to be there at that time. You cannot just randomly delay going there. If your office expects you to be there at 9:30 or 10 o'clock or 10:30 or 11, whatever be the time, you will have to be there. So you will have to value anyone's time, and we expect you to value our time, and we would also like to value your time. So let's start our classes at 6:30. In case it's not that we are, in case there is a rare scenario where something is going to happen, we do communicate that, saying that the class will start at 6:35, 6:40, 6:45, whatever be the time. That communication will come from us. It's a rare scenario. In my final classes, I think in the current batch we have taken 50 classes till now. I think 2 or 3 classes I had to delay it. It's not that I am saying I'll always start perfect at that time. 2 or 3 classes I had to delay it because of XYZ reason. Similarly, any faculty can have a reason, but that will be communicated to you. In case the class goes 5 minutes early or 5 minutes early, we cannot start obviously, but if we are starting late, that will be communicated to you. But we expect you to be in class by 6:30, assuming the class is going to start at that time, or you're connecting live online, please connect by that time. So that's one rule. During the regular class, we are open to take any number of doubts. We don't want any cross talks among yourself. The reason is, during the class, we are the right people to clarify your doubts. After the class, you do a lengthy discussion among yourself, because when you do cross talk, it may disturb the flow of not only the faculty, it can disturb the flow of your friend also. So that is why any number of doubts you want to ask, basically we want silence in the class. That's the simple way I want to put it. We would want that silence to be there, but you ask any number of doubts. There's nothing like a basic doubt, there's nothing like a complex doubt. At this point of time also, after doing so much of income tax, everything, I have cleared my chartered accountancy, but I may have basics of doubt in income tax. I'll have to reach out to Watson sir, saying that, sir, I don't understand this thing, can you please help me out? Because I have learned taxation some 10 years back, just that I don't know anything. Let me not do Google search it, understand it. Let me just put a message to him, he'll clarify that doubt in a minute, and I'll get full clarity. The Google, I'll spend 30 minutes, end up getting nothing there. I'll struggle with that. So a simple thing, I just message him, he'll clarify my doubt. You have doubts during class, ask us. Post class you have doubts, send us a message. We expect students to send us a message. We don't want you to call us, but in case you still need some more clarification, you are part of the live online batch, you cannot see us physically, you still need a call to be done, we'll give you time for that also, saying that you please call us that time. But message is something you can send at any time. We'll respond as per our convenience, because you can send your message at your convenient time. Whenever we see the message, we can respond to you. So that's as far as your doubts part is concerned. So one, be on time for the class. That is 6:30 is what we expect you to be there. So that is critical. During the class, we would want you to be silent as much as possible. Ask any number of doubts. We don't have problem with even 1,000 doubts you ask. Any number of doubts you please ask during the class. Make lots and lots of notes. During the class, you may not be able to make notes, but after the class, please make notes. That is going to be very, very critical. At the last stage, you will have to revise the entire subject in 1.5 days. So keep that in your mind. Take up tests. Whenever tests are kept, please take up tests. Don't bring an excuse. In fact, We may try to even keep some surprise test if needed. But if there's a surprise test which is kept, you will have to take up the test. Now, don't come back to me saying that I don't know what to do, what not to do, how to do. In fact, in the initial, there was one session which I had done where some of you had come. I had told you that what we expect is you need to go back to school. That's the only thing we expect. Many times, if a student is very sincere, or if a student follows things, that some friends will say that, why are you behaving like a school going student? Why are you doing this? We are now in college, we are now in chartered accountancy, let's be fully independent, let's do this, let's do that. Why are you behaving like a school going student? We expect you to be like a school going student. We want you to, in a school you are forced to take so many tests, you're forced to take so many assignments. So we want you to do that only. We don't expect you to. The only difference is, when you were in school, the only focus area for you was school. Apart from that, you did not have anything else. It's not that there was a college come school pressure. Here you have a college come CA pressure, and there was no articleship come school pressure. School is something which you are focusing. You will go for your school at 9 o'clock. You be there till 4 o'clock. After that also you did not have much things to do. So after school also you had time to study. Now you need to balance things. You need to balance things and get that time. So test, everything will be very, very critical. You please take up the tests and make use of the faculties to the extent possible. So wherever you have any doubts, any clarifications, anything you want to ask, please speak to faculties. We are there to guide you. We are there to guide you. It's not that we know many things, but still we know something more at this point of time, which you will also start picking up. And certain subjects I don't know much about it, so the other faculties take care of that. So as far as my subject or the general ground rule, I have told you, take tests, take assignments, make notes, do self-study, be disciplined for the class, attend classes regularly, be consistent in your preparation. These are the mantra for your success. I don't have anything beyond this to say. This is what we want you to follow, and moment you follow this, you will easily clear your chartered accountancy. I'm telling you, you will clear your chartered accountancy if you follow these things properly. Either think that you want to struggle for this period or struggle after writing your exams, because if you don't clear, again you will have to follow the same thing. So just do this over a period of consistent 7-8 months. Your CA inter is done. After that, you may have some cooling off period, and then again CA final preparation will start. So consistency over another 3-4 years of preparation, 3 years of preparation, and you're done with this course. After that, there are a lot of opportunities which will open up for you. So with this, I'll end my talk. I'll call upon PC sir. He will give us views, and if you want to ask me something, I can take it up. If you want to ask something to us, I can take it up, be it in the recorded mode or be it in the physical mode. So live online, whoever is connected, you want to ask us something, we'll take it up, else PC sir will come. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I would change to CA into full-time.
That's okay. We'll manage it. That's not a problem. Nothing much is going to be different. You'll understand how we are delivering the classes. So you'll understand when we are delivering the classes, whether it's a full-time or whether it is the articleship student. You will see that not much of difference will be there. There is a different way of the program is managed in a different way. Our classes is going to be 6:30 to 9:30. After that, there are certain tests, assignments, all those will be done, where you sit in the academy and take it up, or there could be faculties available which will guide you. Some classes can also be there. We'll tell you the plans as we proceed. Anyone in the live online mode also, if you have doubts, please.
Yeah, thank you, DJ. That was a detailed explanation to you on the approach and other things. My friend Shiv Kumar, who is going to share indirect tax part of the syllabus. Okay, a chartered accountant and an advocate. Again, he has seen multiple batches and his experience is very large. He will share his inputs. Okay, over to Shiv Kumar.
Okay, good morning everyone. Great. So my name is Shiva Kumar, as he said, advocate and chartered accountant, not the other way around. Okay. So GST is your 40 mark in your tax 100 mark paper, 60 being income tax. Let's all be honest, 60 marks is so only. Okay. So if at all you would hope in passing that paper, getting 50, or if you have any hope of getting an exemption in that paper 60, then your best hope or best bet is on indirect taxes. Watson sir will not agree, will not believe him. Okay. So GST is your scoring area. When it comes to the 40 marks, so 60 is income tax, right? Income tax is 60. Income tax, Watson sir spoke already? No. He has spoken. So income tax is 60. Then he would have already given you some lies. Don't believe. Income tax is 60. GST is 40. We do not have customs at inter level. We have customs only at final level. Even at inter level for this 40 marks, we do not have full GST sub syllabus. We do not have areas like place of supply, assessment procedures, appeals. Even in valuation, we don't have rules. So it's a very basic, very limited scope of the GST subject is what we are going to see at the inter level. Okay, very easy to understand. The only requirement you have is come with an open mind, the clean slate. No preparation is required. Just come and sit in the class or watch it online at home with a open and clean mind. Okay, that way you will be able to crack that 40 marks. My ideal way is that out of 40 you should be able to get a minimum of 25. Okay, so that you get even 15 marks under income tax. It is 15 out of 60, no? You pass. You do little bit effort, watch all his classes, then you will get 25 out of 60, which is also still less because you're getting 25 out of 40 in GST. You'll get 50 marks. 50 is fine. Okay. Little bit more effort in income tax. If you sit at home and study, then you will get more than 55. Exemption and all is your capacity. 25 out of 40 is GST is a very achievable target just by coming to classes, attending all classes, watching all videos at home. Okay, that is a very easily achievable targets. How are we going to proceed? Okay, for GST for 40 marks, it will be roughly, give or take, roughly around 20 sessions of 2.5 hours each, roughly. Okay, all right. Roughly. Okay, so if our physical classes is at 6:30 to 9:30, 3 hours and all, then we can even make it 16-17 classes. And in those classes, we will also be giving you a study material. That study material will be around 150 pages. That's all. Okay, it's don't worry, the font is very big. So even though it's 150 pages, the content is less. And apart from that 150 pages of study material, we will also be giving you the class notes. So generally we take notes, yeah. So that class notes also, it's there in a PDF typed out version. So that also we will be able to give you. So that will be another 150-160 pages for your CA inter level. Okay. So very easy. And in that class notes, we will be covering all tricks in the particular chapter. If we take a particular provision, what are the tricks available for the examiner? So if I tell you all the tricks, then the chapter is over, right? So simple question everybody will answer. What is 1 plus 1? We will tell you. The problem comes only when this WhatsApp messages kind of thing, where you have a multiplication, then also a division also comes, which to do first. That kind of questions usually come in WhatsApp, right? So if that comes, then we have to apply our BODMAS formula and all, no? Do which word that first. So same way in GST also, I'm going to tell you, these are the tricks in this particular provision. For this trick, this is the solution. This trick, this is the solution. This is where students will make a mistake. This is where the examiner will twist the question and make you fail. So if all these tricks you are aware, all the pitfalls we cover up, okay, then if you go into the examination, it will be combination. A trick from that chapter, a trick from this chapter will be combined into a new question. But as long as you know the tricks, you separate them and you crack those tricks, then you will easily get minimum 25. Okay, on all kinds of exam questions that are possible. It's like a blueprint. Okay, blueprint is where this type of question will come. So number may change, the order of the question may change, but the exact question, almost all the exam questions that are possible, we will cover. And after the class, after every chapter is complete, after Every chapter is complete. Around 8 or 9 chapters is there in your indirect tax material. After every chapter is complete, we will take up and show you your study material of your institute study material, and we will say that every page has been covered, and we will also be taking up the questions that are given in your every question, every chapter in, and to show that we are able to answer all your institute study material questions. And once all this within that 17-18 classes, okay, so 17-18 classes will include all these things. Once our class is over, I think before the examinations, Vachan sir will plan along with DJ sir some revision sessions. There we will also be taking up past exam question papers, 2-3 years question papers at the minimum. We will take it up, and we will show that we are able to get that magical number of minimum 25. Sir, can't take it 35, 40 and all? Yes. For that you need to study. What I am saying is, with little bit preparation, and if you consistently attend the classes, 25 is a very, very realistic objective, and anything above 25, we require your cooperation, effort. As your effort increases, the mark also will increase. So meet you soon at the indirect tax classes, starting I don't know when, Vachan sir will announce. If you have any doubts, I am open for doubts. Vachan sir, over.
Yeah, thank you. Sure.
So I'm just asking for doubts, so if you have any doubts, you can ask.
சப்ஜெக்ட்லயே கேட்கல சும்மா பேசுனதுக்குலாம் கேட்க மாட்டாங்க போங்க.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, friends, the next in line is the person who is sharing knowledge of accounts. As I told you, part of the accounts is handled by Deepika, and she's here. And I also just got to know that Charanya, I think you are there online, live online, but unfortunately, the speakers are yet to be fit here, so that the physical students will not be able to hear it out. So my only request is, when you come for the first session of classes, or when you are taking the first session, also provide the introduction. By that time the speakers will be here. So Chanya ma'am is there live online. She is going to handle law, but part of accounts is going to be handled by Deepika. Over to Deepika. Many of you who are from foundation knows already Charanya and Deepika, I believe.
Very good morning. Good morning. So how are you all? Okay. So it's a very good thing. Welcome to classes CA Inter. The entire journey, I think Sir Patsan sir, PC sir, Dinesh Jain sir would have spoken enough about it, on how you need to prepare, how you need to, prepare yourself for the classes, for the subject. Yes. My area of sharing knowledge is going to be with respect to accounts, a portion of accounts, right? And in accounts, I will be specifically dealing with certain topics which probably, could come around the scoring areas, smaller scoring areas of our discussion. Of course, we will get into the details when we start the subject, when our classes begin. But one thing that at this front that I want to tell you is, learn. When you are learning, ensure you learn not for the exams, but you learn it for yourself. You learn it to gain an understanding. If you understand, I am very sure you will all be able to do very well in the exams. So learn it for the purpose of understanding, gaining knowledge. Okay, your exam results will follow. That is our side to, for us to take handle it. You don't have to worry about it, but ensure that you are giving your best when you are learning it. Do not bring exams in front when you are doing the learning as such, right? So that apart, taking notes, focusing on your your examination oriented syllabus, etc. Then coming to class, attending tests, mock tests, assignments. I think sir has spoken enough about it, and it's going to be the same thing, so I don't want to repeat it right now. So this is from my end. I'm looking forward to start interacting with you all in the classroom platform. And more importantly, any doubts or clarifications which you have with respect to ICAI guidelines, what do I do with respect to articles? When do we start articles, or what courses when we have to do? When should we register for exams? For how should we apply for materials? Of course, foundation route students might already have some experience in handling ICAI procedures, etc. But if you find any difficulties, you can always reach out to me. You can consider me as a one-stop solution for your ICAI related queries. Okay, and I will be able to suggest you on the correct measures. Of course, most of the measures are going to be handled by you online. You all know how ICAI portal works, but I will be able to tell you on what is the procedure or what you need to do. So in case you are stuck anywhere with respect to ICAI queries, etc., please feel free to reach out to me. Right? Any other doubts? Any specific doubts? Yes.
So, there was this, since you just spoke for the ICAI guide,
Yeah.
there was a specific 4-week training program that they had outlined, and I didn't really understand. So, if you could.
Okay, so there is a training program that you will need to take with respect to, CA Intermediate, and that is required at various stages. So depending on whether you are a foundation route student or a direct entry student, the rules differ. So if you are a foundation route student, you can wait. You can take up your exam, your 4-week training program, ITT. We call it as ITT, and orientation program. That program can be taken up after your intermediate exams. Probably when you wait for your results. So that time we can do it, or somewhere later down the line we can do it. But if you are a direct entry student, you should have already done it, because without that you might not be able to start your articleship. So if you're a direct entry and if you have not done it yet, please reach out to me. I will suggest you on what you need to do next with respect to your further course of action. You are a direct entry student, foundation route. So you can wait. Foundation route students can wait for your ITT orientation course. We can do that probably at your waiting for your results tenure, or probably sometime later. No hurry for that right now. Okay, right. So anything else? Students attending live online, if you have any queries, you can feel free to open up and ask. Right. Okay, so I'll leave the forum back to Vatsal sir.
Yeah, thank you, friends. So you met almost all the faculties. As I told you, Chanya ma'am couldn't come. She had a family function, but she is there live online. Okay, she'll interact with you in her first class about her introduction and other things, right? We have this habit developed over a period of time of giving lot of advices, and I also believe that you have also developed the habit of not listening to any. So let that continue. Okay, so enough of advices, enough of things. Let's get to the subjects and get to the knowledge. Okay, and pass on. Just as I told you, be regular, be punctual, take the notes. That's enough, friends. CA doesn't have two horns. ஓகே, அதெல்லாம் எல்லாரும் நிறைய சொல்லலாம் உங்கள்கிட்ட. சிஏ டஃப், அது மாதிரிலாம் ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை. ஓகே, சிம்பிளா அப்ரோச் பண்ணுங்க, ஸ்ட்ரெயிட் ஃபார்வர்டா படிங்க போதும். யூ ஆர் கிளியரிங். ஓகே, ஓவர் டு த டீன் அண்ட் டைரக்டர் அண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட்ஸ் ஃபேக்கல்டி ஆஃப் அவர் பேட்ச் to take over and take you through the classes. All the best, friends. It was nice meeting you all. Continue to come physically to the classes. To my friends who are online, who are not in Chennai, I absolutely agree, who are held up due to other reasons, but as far as possible, come physically to the classes. That touch and feel matters, and it will make a lot of difference to all those who are studying. Meet you in the income tax classes somewhere in the mid of March, but definitely I'll be in and around the institute for anything and everything. Okay, we'll keep interacting. All the very best, friends.
Morning. Yeah, so for about 30-40 minutes or 45 minutes you had been listening. So for the students who are attending live online and out of the country or state or whatever, you will be getting the material by post. You will be getting the material by post, but till the time I'll be sharing the material in PDF form. That is number one. And for the students who are physically present, of course, we will provide the notebooks and material. Okay. Either you can stay in the meeting or you can exit and join. Probably, what is the time now? Whatever may be the time. Okay, about 15 minutes, because you had been listening to 3 or 4 people. We have to start with accounting. So for that, a fresh mind is required. Have a coffee or tea, or just have about 15 or 20 minutes of break. From now, exactly about 15 minutes or 20 minutes we start. Today the class will be up to 8:30. Okay. Next day onwards, of course, we'll go with the regular routines. Okay. But of course, we'll start with single entry system or accounting from incomplete records. Have a break, have a fresh mind, and come back. While you come back, I request you to have a calculator, a pen, and a notebook, so that of course the inputs can be taken. So whenever you are attending the classes, that is what is required. Okay. So we'll have a break for about 10-15 minutes, then we will continue.